Hi guys, I'm with Alishba and we are going to be talking all about her business, Dream Boudoir
Yes.
Photography.
Hi, everybody.
So I was actually referred to you by one of my clients that I interviewed.
Yeah.
I inquired with her, does she know any really cool businesses in the area? And she led me to you. I want everyone to take a little bit of a moment to have a better understanding of what you do.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me, what do you guys do here? Because it's
Um,
very niche.
yes, it's a very specialized thing, and so the thing is, like, in modern terms, when people think of food or photography in general, it's kind of like, you know, everything. If somebody is introducing themselves as a photographer, I do weddings, I do portraits, I do this, I do this. Like it's like saying that if you're a doctor, you can do breast cancer surgery and eye surgery, and you can be a pediatrician. Like, you can't. Like, it's not in, like, jack of all, master of none, right?
Yes.
You can't do that because every specialization has a particular way to go about it, and psychology, and basically why you want to do it and why other people see the value in what you do. So what I do here is boudoir exclusively, and boudoir photography is basically, I specialize in women's photography, so women get to take a day off. You'll come in, you'll have your hair and makeup done, and it'll be a little bit of a makeover, and then we will capture what or how you want to be remembered for yourself and for others, and kind of getting your power back. For some people, that's what it means. Some people are trying to overcome some trauma, some childhood trauma, some relationship trauma, people who have kind of destroyed their self-confidence, self-love by saying certain things over a certain period of time, and then they never get to love themselves and be like, whatever I see in the mirror is the words that people have said as opposed to who they really are. So for the first time they see that way. Some people are celebrating having it all. Some people are celebrating having a great partner and doing it for them. So there's, like, all sorts of reasons. I can write a book about every single story that I've heard here. You name, or you give me, like, a vague story or idea, like, have you ever shot a person who was XYZ and had XYZ? And I'd be like, yes, I have.
Wow.
So that's what we do, and I shoot almost every day between here and my Vancouver studio, Monday to Friday. So I'm shooting almost above 200 women a year.
Wow.
Photograph. Yeah, so that's a lot of faces and stories, and I speak to even more women than I photograph, because everybody has a story to tell, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to create the art of body to encapsulate what the person is trying to see themselves as or say. And like my client today who came, she broke down in tears when she was telling me how powerful this has been for her, because she was told by her parents growing up how she was never enough. And she was 140 pounds growing up, and then she was always called fat, and we're like, you need to tone down, you need to do this. And she then became 300, and now she has come down a little bit because she had a heart attack and stuff, so for health reasons she's doing that. And she broke down looking at her picture. She's just like, this is okay. And her partner loves her for that too, and that's what we're trying to do. And that's in a nutshell, basically giving women the power back of their sexuality, their self-confidence, their mindset. And boudoir can be anything you want it to be. So from lingerie to summer dress or a ball gown, whatever you want it to be, is how you want to see yourself and want to be remembered, basically.
I feel like I have so many questions.
Shoot.
One being, I feel like, not to any way minimize you, I think you have a very important job and you do a very good job of doing it. But I also feel as though there's some therapeutic aspect to what you do. And it takes a very special person to be able to be like, okay, tell me your story. What happened? Why do you want to take this picture? What did you do before this? What's your background, in a sense, to not education or profession, nothing like that, but kind of in a soul sense. Like, who are you? Do you know what I mean? It takes like an old soul to be like, talk to me about what occurred, and let's embody your badass in a picture.
Yeah. So there's various things to that. So I grew up in Pakistan.
Okay.
And I came to Canada when I was 17, and I went to Victoria. Not that I hate Toronto, not that I hate Ontario, I love it. But British Columbia, it has something that
has your heart.
Yeah, it just has something that no other place in the world has. So I was lucky that when I landed, I went there. I went to boarding school there. And it was not just any boarding school. It was a special network of schools all over the world. It's called United World Colleges.
Okay.
And while I was there, it's a 2-year college, like grade 11th and 12th program, basically. International baccalaureate. It was Pearson College, the one in Victoria that I went to, was actually the first IB school in Canada. And when I went there, we were 200 students from 100 countries, and it was amazing. And no matter what UWC campus you are in the world, and whether if you're a scholarship student or if you are paying the tuition out of pocket, the process is the same. And the process is that what they're looking for is change makers in the world. So you have to go through, back in Pakistan, there was like a very rigorous criteria that they go through. They go through test, interview, all of those things to see if you're going to make an impact in the political, scientific, or social sphere, and what good change you're wanting to bring to the world. So that's the psychology behind, and those are the kind of people they bring.
Wow.
To the like young students collectively bringing together. To give you an example, Malala was also offered the scholarship at the UWC Wales campus. So she decided to stay with her parents, but then all of the other friends who were with her, who were attached, they all ended up going to UWC. The current king of Netherlands, I want to say, is also UWC grad. So there's like a lot of change makers who have come out of the school. So I had this political streak in me forever. Yeah. And that's why I was just like, okay, if I want to do something with this, I have to leave that country that I was raised in and go to a place that actually encourages curiosity and encourages activism and encourages environmentalism and things like that. So when I went there, I loved that I could walk down the street in my shorts and nobody cared. And that is a freedom, and that's a very, very, like, a lot of the times we take these things for granted here. But if you look at it from perspective of somebody like me, or somebody who was raised in a country where even the very fact that you exist and you're a girl and you're a woman, the very fact you exist is a sexual provocation and victim blaming culture, and the whole thing just goes. So the fact that you exist is a burden on society, and sometimes even the people who you are related to. So to be able to prove all of them wrong, be like, no, actually there's something wrong with your thinking, because there's this part of the world where that doesn't go on, at least to a great extent it doesn't go on. That just demonstrates it's only about the thinking of the society and the people. So when I went through the UWC experience, went to the US, Europe, everywhere for schooling and whatnot, my political ideas developed and matured more, especially in related to feminism. So wherever I went, there was a feminist issue, especially when it comes to women's bodies, and everybody wants to regulate it, be it what you can wear and what you can't,
Yeah.
to when you can become a mother and if you can become a mother, and should you become a mother. Like, those things are disregarded, and it all comes down to people making decisions for women and for women's bodies.
Right.
And to this day, that is like the biggest political debate we have. And to this day, that's what drives voters. That's what, like, look just south of the border. And like, that's like the biggest debate. Like, how is that your concern? What is going on with my adult body?
Right.
Like, that is not your concern. So a lot of these ideas, and I've seen over here that regardless of race, religion, culture, upbringing, a vast majority of women go through different stages of being made aware that they are women and therefore they owe something to society.
Yeah.
So this kind of business that I have is to kind of take away the shame. Number one, give a safe space to women to be who they want to be.
Yeah.
Without any judgments. Like, if so people judge me like, oh, you are getting cosmetic surgery, you aren't getting cosmetic surgery, oh, you never wear makeup because you don't take care of yourself, oh, you wear too much makeup.
Like, there's never winning.
Yeah, like you put so many filters, oh, your photo is not good. And like, there's so much there. So this is a space where a woman can be who she wants to be, and with or without clothes, and we create something that is beautiful and empowering, and with the idea is not the pleasure of the male eye.
Yes.
The idea is to embrace, to take the power back, and to look at yourself confidently, and kind of have an internal transformation. And that internal transformation takes a little bit of time, of self-acceptance, and knowing that what the other person's perception of you may not always be the end-all be-all. So that's what we're trying to create here, and feminism is at the heart of everything that I do, hence this experience. And that's why everybody who comes to me, they feel the energy too. They feel that shift, and they're like, yes, this is what I was looking for. It's not just beautiful photos, it's how you get to the point where you're able to capture those photos, where you can see that the person is not hesitant.
Yeah.
And they're not scared, they're not reserved, although when they're coming in the first 10 minutes, most of them are trembling.
It's a sense of empowerment.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So I can tell a lot of passion, a lot of your heart, you go into your business. What did you do before this?
Before being a photographer, I was in college, and I studied human development, social relations, and politics. And during that time, I had the opportunity to work for Disney in California. And that was really, really cool, because I got to really have, the experience of being affiliated with Disney Studios.
Yeah.
So I was a photographer there and learned a lot. You'd be surprised how much they do put into the people they do select. So it was amazing experience. It was a great experience. But after that, I just shifted my focus back to school, activism, doing all of those things. And then after graduating, I was like, okay, so politics and everything, I do want to keep doing that, but my art is the way I express a lot of those things. So I wanted that to be more of my, because I'm not one of those people like, hobbies should remain hobbies and then you have a day job. I'm like, I don't want something that I call a day job.
Yeah.
I want something that ties everything in. So this became, so I naturally, when I started, I was experimenting a lot. So I, like, some of my current clients, they have families, so they'll bring their families in. So I would do family photo shoots for them because they understand where I'm coming from and whatnot. But back then I did some weddings and things like that, but it didn't sit with me. And I was just like, weddings are not my thing. little newborns are not my thing.
It didn't encompass your why.
No, and
Yeah.
the only newborn to this day I've ever photographed is my own kid.
Aw.
Because I was just like, I know what I can capture for her.
Yeah.
But this, like for the reasons I mentioned before,
Yeah.
this became my focus. So what I did before being a photographer, I was a student. So I've been a photographer forever. And,
How long ago was that, you being a student?
I graduated in 2013.
Nice.
So it's been a few years, and I've just loved building this and giving women the power back, and that's what I would want to do forever.
Thank you so much for everything you do. It's been amazing learning about you and your company. I find that there's so much more to you than I could have possibly had captured in an interview. I feel like I can do this all day with you.
We didn't even get to, the point where I could show you, like, I have so much, all of my
Look at the angel
printed,
wings.
and then all of my printed work, it comes from an Italian museum printing lab. So
Wow.
the level of art that is created here is created from the viewpoint that this should last 100 years in print, in memories forever. So all of those things are like, it's not just, the psychological aspect.
Yes.
while we're creating art, it's also how you get to preserve it. And when you look back, you should think back the power that you were feeling in the moment, and you can only do that once it's produced to that quality.
Absolutely.
Too. So all of those things are there. We didn't even get to get there.
Guys, check out the blog. We'll show some of this in the blog, but if you are interested by any means, please hit her up. She's super talented. I'm sure you've seen some of her artwork here, but there's so much more that she can do. So if you're curious, I'll leave all of her information below, and I look forward to seeing some of your guys' pieces.
And if you guys do come, because Chaunyce has been so amazing, I am just like, okay, I would love to give you guys a special offer.
Cool.
So
Thank you.
just call up and then just mention that you saw this interview on her website, and we will hook you up with something really cool.
Heard it here. So thank you so much for supporting local. Comment, share, like. There's nothing not to like about this video. Like, and thank you so much for supporting local. Thank you.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.